Good evening. We're looking at the mysterious Sirius. I'm going to actually read something to you that I found right here. It's from Harvard Education. In 1976, Robert Temple made news with the Sirius B mystery of another sort. In his book, The Sirius Mystery, he speculated that the Earth had been visited a few thousand years ago by amphibious beings from a planet around Sirius. His evidence for this increased assertion came from a report by French anthropologists Marcel Grioul and Germain Dieletrin, who in the 1930s and 1940s had studied the traditions and mythology of the Dogon, a remote West African tribe located about 300 kilometers south of Timbuktu in Republic of Mali. Some elements of the Dogon mythology are reminiscent of ancient Egypt, including the prominence of Sirius in their traditions. Other aspects reveal an impressive knowledge of bits and pieces of modern astronomy. For example, according to Grioul and Dieletrin, the Dogon believe that Earth and other planets rotate on their axis and orbit the Sun, that Jupiter has 4 moons, and that Saturn has a ring around it. As Carl Sagan commented in his book, Broca's Brain, the conclusion about planetary orbits, though a rare insight, is one that can be achieved without high technology, as demonstrated by some Greeks and Copernicus. As for the moons of Jupiter and Saturn's ring, with a combination of extraordinary eyesight and perfectly clear skies, it just might be possible to see them with a telescope. If the Dogon astronomical mythological story had stopped there, it would have been remarkable, but it probably would not have warranted detailed critique by a media superstar such as Sagan. The cause of all the commotion was the claim that the Dogon believed that Sirius has a dark, invisible companion with a 50-year orbit. That's really interesting. The companion is very heavy and made of a special metal which is not found on Earth. This is an accurate description of the knowledge of Sirius B, after it was observed with powerful telescopes and described by scientists using theories of quantum mechanics and relativity. How did the Dogon come by this knowledge? Temple's books say that long ago an ark descended to the ground amid a great wind and brought amphibious beings known as the Nommo, who gave the Dogon the scoop on Sirius B. But then why did they not mention the rest of Jupiter and Saturn's moons, the planet Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, and other fascinating objects such as neutron stars and black holes? Another explanation for the Dogon's knowledge is that they did indeed have extraordinary eyesight, according to Robert Burnham, author of the classic Burnham's Celestial Handbook. Sirius B can be observed with a 10-inch reflecting telescope on a very clear night. With such capabilities, it would also be fairly easy to observe Uranus and Neptune, and many other fascinating cosmic sights not mentioned by the Dogon. Or could Sirius B have been brighter in the past? A number of ancient writers, Cicero, Horace, Seneca, and Ptolemy, describe Sirius as ruddy, raising the possibility that Sirius B might have been in red giant stage 2,000 or so years ago on its way to becoming a white dwarf. This is unlikely given our knowledge of the stellar evolution, which estimates the time for such a transition to be more like 100,000 years. But as Chandra and Hubble and other modern telescopes have shown, nature still has plenty of surprises in store for us. A more prosaic explanation, favored by Burnham, is that the ancients used terms for color differently, The yellow star Capella, Arcturus, and Pollux were all described as red. Even if Sirius B was a red giant, it leaves the question as to how the Dogon knew that it was going to turn into a white dwarf. The explanation favored by Sagan is that the Dogon were visited by a technological civilization, but not an extraterrestrial one. The nature of the knowledge imparted is consistent with a visit by a science-attentive person in the 1930s or 1940s, when the discovery of the nature of Sirius B was being widely discussed in popular science books. This information could have been woven into Dogon's existing mythology in time to give Graul and Diarleteran something very interesting to write home about. A variation on this theme is that the knowledgeable visitor and the source of the information might have been Graul himself. Though an anthropologist, Graul had studied astronomy in Paris. He was aware of the discovery of Sirius B and may have overinterpreted the Dogon responses to his question. In 1991, Walter van Beek, a Belgian anthropologist, led a team of anthropologists to study the Dogon tribe. Although he hoped to find evidence for their astounding astronomical knowledge, the team found no trace of the detailed Sirius lore reported by Graul. What do you think? Isn't that interesting? I mean, I just clicked on that, but we're looking at Sirius. That's what we're looking at right now. And this is the normal movement of it. Just what you see right here. And I had in my Nikon P900 on my equatorial mount. I think it was my equatorial mount. Filming this. It's rather interesting, to say the least. I really didn't know about Sirius B, and I really didn't know about like there being like another like red giant. I've heard of Carl Sagan, I have, but I haven't really read much into the books and the theories and all the mythology and stuff. I've heard of the Dogon tribe. You know, you see it on those channels or something, ancient aliens and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really interesting. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this. I hope it sounded really well. I really do. And with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. I hope you have a very wonderful evening, and thank you to all the moderators who are on here. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for coming to this channel and subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for sharing. I didn't know you could share, but thank you anyway. Just thank you for being you, and thank you for encouraging me and supporting me with your comments, and I love it. I really do love it. So good night. We're going to end this video. Good night.